join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a check-in room. Someone will come along and verify you to get involved in the conversation about our Earth.
OctaneWeasel.
Oh, okay.
How you assuming correctly?
Well, that's a thing. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
my
just
question.
trust, right?
How you can assume correctly?
Well, they seem to have a lot of smart people behind them, and there's a lot of them.
They use the telescope. Let's do it today. Let's point to Venus with the telescope and tell me the size. Assume correctly, like they did it.
Well,
What do you
have more than just a telescope?
What do you have that shows that they're pretty smart people? What are you using to back? You must have a reference. If you're saying they're smart people, they're intelligent, and they can do these things. What are you using as a reference for that?
Well, if you
What
want
did they do that? What did they do that's intelligent? Oh, they do. Do you have proof that? Do you have proof that? Hold on. Do you have proof? Wait, you keep going. Do you have proof of their degrees?
I'm pretty sure usually whenever they write a paper and stuff, they usually write down like what schools they went to, what PhDs they
Okay,
have.
so just present one then.
Sonny, but you need to say
wait. So no, wait, Sasha. I just asked him a question. So just present one then. Thank you.
I'm a little busy right now.
Okay, you're busy right now. You can't present the thing. You can't present the thing that you're claiming you're using as the backing for your claim.
No, they've written papers, dude.
You can't validate your claim, and now you're too busy to get the reference.
Dude,
well, that we all read research papers, and they always say like what schools they went to and stuff like that, like PhDs.
Blah blah.
Octane, how many studies and how many years I need to study to assume the size of Venus?
Well, you don't. I mean, the good thing is we have all the information right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you how they made information, how they made the math. They assumed the size of the Venus. Now I'm asking you, how much smart, what shall I do, which studies I need to do to assume that Venus is the same size like Earth?
Well, I'm not that smart. That's why I trust them. And I don't want to do that field of work.
Okay,
it's fucking boring.
Okay, I can do that for you. I am saying that Venus is not the same size like the Earth. The Venus is double size.
Okay.
The Moon, it's not 400 times. It's 800 times far away. Okay?
Sasha's
we need to know the size of the Earth. The distance to the Sun, it's not 93 million miles away. It's 186 million miles away.
He's going double up.
Yeah, and it's working.
I might go in a minute. Oh, let me just get started.
And it's working with the same radius. Only I need to change the speed because of, the orbital speed. It's not 66,000 miles per hour. It's 122,000 miles per hour.
I was just going to say there's a million reasons why firing light at the sun and expecting anything back is wrong. By the way, sorry, Sasha, are you cutting out, or is it just me?
Sorry, I want to now ask him: do you believe in smart people assumption or my stupid assumption? But my stupid assumption is also working with the numbers. To tell you, the same it's working the same like that smart one.
I trust NASA. I will trust their figures.
Why you don't trust me? Because I assume better. I'm in 2033. I have better telescope, and Venus is not the same size like Earth. Venus is double size.
Well, because one person is a lot easier to lie than like a whole agency.
Well, just wait. 1 sec. First of all, we don't think that. You know what? I remember years ago, that was one of the little cogdiss things that comforted me, because I was like, no, it's too big a thing. It's way too big a thing. But there's such thing as compartmentalization, sir. You know this. Need to know. We don't think they're all bloody lying. Jesus, only a select few.
Oh, right, but I said it. No, I said it's for one person. It's a lot.
Let me just address something you said earlier. You said they fired light at the sun and they know that's how they know how far it is. They certainly didn't, because it's a black body problem. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I heard it last night when I was like half paying attention. Something black body problem or something.
Yeah, they're not firing light at that. I promise you.
Seems like you're always paying only half attention. That's what you do all the time, I guess.
Well, I mean, I told you I don't really care about this too much anymore. I did.
I know you don't.
I've been here since 2016. I mean, damn, how much more do I have to do? I'm just
because you think you believe them. You believe you trust them. No, you believe them because it's not affecting your life according to your own perspective at this time. That's the only reason you still believe them. You have no reason not to. You must be pretty comfortable. So you don't have to. So you can come in here like lukewarm, just bullshit. It's just a bunch of crap. You're dishonest about. It's not being dishonest. I wasn't even done. So it's not being dishonest to us. We could care less about that. You're being dishonest to yourself, and we're just pointing it out right now.
He's not though. You guys are being like I think this is kind of cringe, to be honest. It started off really, it started off really chill. It was just me and Octane. He had said like, wow, the live stream's super chill. I said, it's always chill. And he laughed. He giggled about it. He goes, maybe because everyone's just the 4th of July weekend and everyone's being chill. And suddenly it's not chill all of a sudden. He told you right from the front loaded. Yeah, but you like, why? What's the point of asking him to provide papers, to provide citations? He front-loaded those answers. He said he doesn't really care. He's in his worldview, right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay? Inside his worldview, he doesn't really trust government, but sees NASA as like a turd blossom. Like a flower growing out of a cow patch.
Yeah.
He sees government as... I get it. That makes sense. Not everything is black and white. He sees these multiple shades of gray in his world. He can see the full executive branch as nothing but violent, repressive thugs constantly breathing down your neck, but at least they do one thing that keeps them having faith that government will provide some answers for the future. Because they're doing something right. They're kind of doing a space program that, based off his very limited research, which was Google, that it seems to work. What's so hard about that? I mean, it's very easy to understand where he's coming from. When I first heard him talk, it didn't make sense to me. It made sense that he trusts and doesn't trust at the same time. But after he's added all these qualifiers, I don't know what's going on with your mic, Sonny. I mean, it is a hot mic like no one's business.
Yeah, he's like recording us or something.
No, I think it's Sonny, right?
Whose mic is it?
I think, is that Sonny?
Yes.
Look,
Sonny, you're getting some massive feedback from the live stream going back into your microphone.
Okay, I apologize. I'll figure that out. I'll wear a set of headphones or something. I apologize. It's coming through my speakers, into the room. So.
I agree with you, Crit. We'll keep it chill. I would just like to ask Octane a question, because I was just listening on the YouTube before. So you're being pretty honest. You were saying it's not something that you can necessarily verify yourself, but you trust that some people have done it and they're telling the truth, right? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, do you know what an appeal to authority fallacy is?
Yes, I do, but not like every appeal to authority means it's a fallacy, right? There's some appeals we could make to authority that would be pretty legitimate, and there's others that are maybe less legitimate.
So you would define this authority as legitimate?
Yes, and that's just based on their track record, because that's what I value.
What track record do you mean?
You keep mentioning this track record. What does this mean, a track record? What does space government have a track record of doing?
Of being pretty trustworthy with what they find, with what they're discovering, with what they're trying to do.
But that's kind of circular because if we're questioning the truth of what they're claiming, to say, well, I can trust what they're claiming is true because I believe what they've said is true, is kind of circular. Because you can't actually verify their claims, can you? That's what you already said.
I'm right, but one way I can kind of verify is I can look at like other space agencies and see, well, what are they finding?
But you can't verify what they're finding or what they say they're finding either, though, can you?
Sure, yes, but there's a lot of space agencies that aren't necessarily working together, and they all seem to come to the same agreements, regardless of
none of that. But none of those agreements you can actually verify in terms of what they're claiming. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's
sure, 100%. I mean, that's why I said it's a trust thing. That's why I said it.
Right,
I mean,
But then this would mean it's not an authority. It's not an authority that you can say this is a trustworthy authority because I can verify what they've said in the past is true. Unlike maybe an authority of a local blacksmith, and you trust what he's done because you've gone and seen him do it and you've done it yourself. But this wouldn't be in that category because verify the things they're saying. So that would just be a regular appeal to authority logical fallacy, which is fine. But
and I'll comment on that a little bit extra.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, just think of this as if you were in a court setting, Octane. There, like you said, there's a ways to appeal to authority. It almost like what Wolfgang said with the blacksmith. I was thinking, say you're in a court setting, you need to identify a body. You would appeal to maybe a coroner. Hey, we identified the teeth, so on and so forth. But in this example, it's almost like you're the lawyer, and you're appealing to your client's quote unquote authority. Oh well. My client has had a track record for many years. They've been trusted. They've got credentials. Like you can't appeal to your client's credentials or their authority when it's not the same as appealing to, like, say, the coroner to identify the teeth of the body that's actually at the crime scene. Appealing to make a case that's appealing to your client's authority isn't actually making a strong case. That's kind of what we're getting at. That's where it falls into the fallacy category.
Well, especially if admittedly the client has made many mistakes and killed people, and he said that, right? Octane said that, so it's probably not a good appeal. Then
they made mistakes
and killed people.
And so
they've made mistakes and killed people, but I mean that happened. I mean that sadly happened, so that doesn't mean we just get rid of the whole thing altogether. Because
lots of mistakes. A lot of people.
The point is the verification level, right? Because if you're going to use it as an authority to appeal to, which you're kind of boldly admitting that you do, that the glow belief that you have, because you admit it's a belief because it's not something you're verifying, is based on the word of this authority, which you can't verify the track record of. So it is kind of just like, well, yeah, I have this worldview that I believe in, and it is technically based on a logical fallacy, but that's okay. I mean, that's kind of what you're saying.
Or put it like this: you have evidence of a lie, but you will appeal to authority which is lying.
Or at least that you can't know if they're telling the truth. Like, you just can't know.
Like, there's probably some things that we can maybe verify. I mean, for example, like the ISS, I think is always a good one because we can see it.
Well, you can see a light in the sky, but does that mean that there's a Canadian inside it floating around in a monkey suit playing David Bowie songs?
Yeah, how do you verify that it's in the place they're saying, that it's not something else?
Because it looks like the ISS.
Can we see curvature from ISS?
Yeah, probably.
No, yeah, probably. I can see it. I watched this. Did you watch the stream of ISS any time? Because I watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. There is a sphere, man. You can see it live.
Why
My
do you
question
think?
is my question is this: if you can see the Earth spherical from the space, why is not spherical on the ground?
Because it's really big.
I know how big it is. That's why I'm asking why is not spherical on the ground.
Because the Earth is really big.
I know how big it is. I'm telling you. Do you know?
Oh, do I know why we
Yeah.
can't see the curve at the ground?
No, do you know
level?
how Earth is big? You said it's big, and I said I know that it's big. And because of that, because if it's big, there is no sphere on the ground. And you said, yeah, because it's big. I'm repeating, yes, I know it's big. But how big?
How big?
100 meter radius?
Yeah. So what's the radius? Okay.
Is it like 3,900 something?
Yes, that is what they claim. Okay, very good. We'll go back to that, but just to put a pin in that, I was just wanting to follow up with another thought. Because we're saying, okay, we're going to appeal to NASA because they're trustworthy, and that's good enough for the world view. But have you heard the story about how they gave the Dutch government petrified wood and said that it was moon rocks?
Yeah, I have heard this story before.
Okay, so why do you think they did that?
Well, I think the commonly accepted thing is that it was a mistake or something like that.
They mistakenly gave the Dutch government petrified wood by mistake.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have the actual rocks now. I'm pretty sure.
Wait. But why did they give the Dutch government wood and say this was rock from the moon? And does that not indicate some level of
error?
Does that not indicate some level of dishonesty?
Well, I mean, if it was a mistake, then it's a mistake, and as long as it's fixed, then there's no problem.
But how do you think? But do you not think that they would be keeping a very close eye on rocks from the moon? And how would they just happen to have some petrified wood lying around that looks like it could be a rock from the moon, and then accidentally give that to another nation state by your president or your ambassador and one of the supposed astronauts?
As an award.
Did NASA say it was a mistake?
I mean, I don't know.
So where are you getting that it was a mistake from?
Well, I'm just assuming. I'm just using, logic.
So it could be.
Like, what's more likely, them lying? And
yeah, so it could be that they were just lying.
Or... Yeah, sure, it could be, but I mean, if I was like, if I had to make a choice between one or the other.
Yeah. But okay, so either you're saying they're massively incompetent and they don't know the difference between a rock from the moon and a piece of wood, or they're lying. Those are our choices, yeah?
They misplaced it.
So wait, so those are the choices, yeah? Either massively incompetent or lying.
Well, they don't have to be massively incompetent. It could just been a simple mistake.
Well, it's a rock from the moon, bro. If I have a rock from the moon, and I say I'm going to give you a rock from the moon, it's going to be difficult for me to accidentally give you a piece of wood instead. And if you're a $50 million, $60 million a day company whose job it is to go to the moon, we would expect that you know what the moon rock is when you're giving it to another country, wouldn't you? Isn't that a bare minimum?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure like all governments like make mistakes. I mean, that's why we criticize.
Yeah, but if you go, but it would be but if you go to the moon like they claimed and you get rocks from it, it's not like they're giving them a certain type of pencil and there's millions of them and they accidentally gave them the wrong kind of pencil. I mean, it's a rock from the moon. These are supposed to be some of the most valuable things on Earth, and they'd have to be very heavily watched and secured. And then you're accidentally getting a piece of petrified wood. Okay, let's say hypothetically that's what happened. Could you give me your scenario of how that petrified wood is becoming put in place of a moon rock by accident? Just in your mind, how you're imagining that to have happened.
Well, like if someone has like a collection of these, they probably have a collection of like other things like petrified wood. It's like if you collect rocks, you probably have like petrified wood and shit too. You
Wait,
have,
so you think NASA are storing a pile of petrified wood next to their moon rocks?
Maybe. I mean,
why would they be storing petrified wood?
I mean, you tell me. I don't know why they would.
No, you tell me. It's your story.
It's not my story.
This is your story. You're defending the story. You made up the story. You said it could have been a mistake.
Yeah, I'm saying it could have been a mistake.
NASA's in their petrified wood store, about to fuel their fires in the office, and then someone accidentally goes into the moon rock cupboard and drops everything and goes, "Oh shit, we have to leave for the flight to Holland." Grabs all the bits, but he accidentally grabs some of the petrified wood that they're using for the office fire. Is that maybe what happened?
I mean, who knows?
It wasn't a rock in a bag. It was on a presentation plaque and all that shit. It wasn't just a rock.
Yeah, they put it in a plaque. Yeah. And Jim, the fucking storage guy, standing there like, "Oh shit, they're putting the petrified wood in the plaque instead of the rock. Should I say something? Oh, I don't know if I can say anything. I'm gonna get fired." But why would they have petrified wood at NASA?
I'm not for sure. I mean, a lot of people collect petrified wood. I don't know.
Maybe it's Mars wood.
So it's starting to sound like the accident theory is a little hard to explain. So is it possible that they have been like, okay, well, we don't actually have moon rock, but this piece of petrified wood looks like it could reasonably be a rock from the moon. Let's just lie about it. Doesn't that seem
because I'm pretty sure. Because I'm pretty sure they eventually fixed the mistake and they actually have the moon rock now. No.
Bruh. I don't know. Is that what they're saying?
I'm pretty
Sorry,
sure I remember
could we have our petrified wood back? Trust us, this time it's a real one.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have like the space agencies over there.
Yeah, well, how
they can verify.
The Holland Space Agency.
Yeah, they probably have something over there. I would imagine.
How are you going to fix that? They lied about what they were giving in an international media conference as a gift and award to another nation under United Nations, and it's fake.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of laughing, so you know it's hilarious.
How do you fix that? Tell me.
No, it's hilarious because, I mean, do you think they would really try to pass off petrified wood as...
Wait. Bro, you are saying that it's more likely that three men went into a tin can in the 1960s and flew 250,000 miles in the tin can, landed on the moon, went around on a buggy, played some golf, got back in the tin can, fired back 250,000 miles back to Earth, than it is that they just found a piece of petrified wood and said, "Hey, here's a moon rock."
I mean, I'm pretty sure it didn't happen like that, but
Bruh. Well, yeah, because it didn't happen, but that is what they're saying happened. I mean, are they not saying they flew to the moon and played some golf and came back with the moon rock?
Flew to the moon.
That they later
moon rocks
in a moon buggy
mixed up with their petrified wood. Like, oh no, I mixed it up with all the petrified wood that we found on the moon. Why would they have
petrified wood with them to the moon?
I don't own it. Do you own any petrified wood?
No.
Do you know anyone that owns any petrified wood?
I am collection. Me.
Other than the Dutch government.
I used to have petrified wood.
I have a few friends. Yeah.
All right. But it's not exactly something that's going to be so ubiquitous and everywhere that you might accidentally pick up a piece instead of a moon rock and put it in a plaque and present it to another government. Let's be real.
I know where to get.
That's a mistake, but
I know where to get it out in the desert here. I heard Arizona is desert also.
I mean, but you were the one who said it could be a mistake, and then when I asked you, could you explain how you think this mistake could have occurred? You can't even think of a way.
I mean, I had
to make it up. No, I made up the way.
No, I gave you away, and then you made fun of it.
Oh yeah, because you said they might have a collection of petrified wood at NASA.
Yeah, maybe they got it mixed up.
Okay, yeah, but then when I asked you why they might have petrified wood at NASA, you were like, I don't know, you tell me. Like, I'm going to tell you why NASA might have petrified.
Saying if you have a bunch of moon rocks or something, I mean, there's a chance you have like other types of rocks and stuff like that.
Oh,
and a lot of people
They just throw them all on a big table. They just throw them all on a big table, all these rocks.
I don't know.
know.
How does that happen, bro? Have NASA said that they've got petrified wood?
Hold up. They did. I'll tell you how. They just mixed up the gift shop fake moon rocks with the actual artifacts from a orbiting illuminary body above us. They traveled there. They just happened to mix that up with the freaking gift shop. Come on, you guys, get with it. It's just a mistake.
Octane, listen to this logic. This is only my logic. Don't believe in that. Let's say they didn't have the rocks from the moon. Do you know how it would be nice to have that petrified wood? If you don't have a rock moon, then it would be nice to have at least something.
Yeah, I mean, something's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
A piece of petrified wood as an award, to commemorate the biggest hoax in humanity ever pulled on people. Perfect.
Hey, Octane, if you're floating around in outer space, would you be worried about drowning?
Would I be worried about drowning? No.
Yeah, drowning in water. Would you be worried about drowning in water if you're floating in outer space as an astronaut?
No, probably not.
Oh, well, that's a problem that happens quite often, is that their helmets get filled up with water and they almost drown. Kind of strange, huh? Do you know where they train? Do you know where they train for outer space?
Yeah, like in a big pool to simulate zero-G, right?
Hey, connecting the dots. But if you want to take like a break, I mean, here's a video that'll have a lot of ISS bloopers. I mean, like, it's like, I don't know how someone can watch. If you really take a look at the mess ups they make, it's like, how do you continue to trust them? It's insane.
Well, I just wanted to address one thing in particular that you said, Octane. This whole idea, like, oh, well, we already know X, or we already know Y, and it's like this isn't Monopoly where you pass go and collect one free claim. So if you're gonna say things like, oh, well, we already know space is real, you have to make a case. I want to hear why it's real, how you know it's real, how you came to that conclusion. Just like in math, right? Or when you're in school, like you'd be given a problem and then it would say, show your work. Just so your teacher, you can't just whip out a calculator, get the answer, write it down. Like, your teacher wants to see how you got to that answer. So in the same way, if you say like, oh, I already know space is real, I want to know how you got to that. Not just like pass go and here's your free claim and all right, he said it, so there it is.
Right.
So,
the reason why I know that they're real is because the higher you go, the less there is. And
do you see the...
Yeah, but hold on, Sasha. I don't think he was wanting to address that. Go ahead.
Okay.
You were saying something about the gradient, but I think if you've been around long enough, you know the gradient is not in contention. We both agree, regardless of whether you're a flat earther or not, that the sky is a gradient. So pointing to the gradient, saying, "Well, see, that is like, well, which is the claim? The claim is that the sky is open, that there's no need for a container, that it's outer space is out there." So just pointing back at the claim and going, "Well, there you have it," isn't really evidence of that claim. It's just pointing at the claim. So I have a kind of an issue with just pointing at the sky and saying, well, there's a gradient. That doesn't equate to outer space.
Yeah, well, the gradient keeps getting less and less, and there would be no reason to assume that it would just all of a sudden, I guess, change for whatever
Man,
reason. Like,
well, there would be no reason to. Isn't really all. It's not really making a case either. Things like, oh, I couldn't imagine any other way. Isn't really making a case. So you know what we're about here.
Yes.
The challenge is for a demonstration.
Especially after you fault with, I guess.
Yeah, you better be careful of old horses in here. Better be careful. But we agree that the sky is a gradient. We just think that you can't have a gradient without the containers, so the gradient's not even in question here.
Yeah, like I said to everyone in the chat, you have to remember this is a guy who thinks he can have his cake and eat it too. So that's what we're. A year later, he still thinks that. Yeah, it's a different. It's a different take, Einstein.
But yeah, just keep that in mind. Like, it's almost when you say things like, "Well, we already know X." It's like, well, there's an audience here, and we're here, and you have to sort of show why you know it. Like, otherwise, what are you expecting from us? We just go, "Oh, well, I guess he knows it." Like, we want to see, show us. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, like, I'm not really here to, like, change your guys' minds. I mean, I'm just kind of, like, answering questions as we go along. Because, like I said, I mean, it is, like, a trust thing. I mean, like I said, it's complete trust. And if you don't trust them, then, I mean, there's nothing I can really say or do. Because all my information comes from them. The people that you guys don't trust. So...
Well, it's not a matter of trust. It's knowing that it's not a matter of trust. It's knowing that they've put out bullshit. It's not a matter of trust.
Well, it's honest of you to say that,
Octane?
But
oh yeah, how I understand you.
Like, it's really honest of you to say that, but I would just like, I really enjoy this court setting. So you said, like, I don't want to convince you guys. Yeah, well, if we're in court, I'm the plaintiff, you're the defendant. I'm not there to convince you. You're not there to convince me. There's the judge, the jury, and then the public. And so go ahead and make your case saying, well, Your Honor, I trust my client. I mean, well, you know that, but like, hey, what's the case?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, like, if we're in treat like court setting, I mean, the public, I mean, is already on my side. So wouldn't I have already won the case?
What? No, well, you don't win based off of that. You still have to make a case. You still have to make a case. You can't just go, well, Your Honor, everyone believes me.
Yeah, well, like, I would.
All right, well, case dismissed.
Are you saying you will kill the person, and then 20% will say he didn't kill the person, even if there is evidence that you killed the person, but because 20 people said that you didn't kill the person, you didn't kill the person.
It's based on the evidence alone. Anything that's an appeal to, anything that in a court of law that's an appeal to authority is thrown out on its face immediately from the offset. So it's not about. So what I wanted to just mention briefly, and I'll get off, is how low. I'm asking you personally. Do you see, Octane, how low your burden of proof is for the globe? How little you are requiring, how little analysis or review of their actual proof is compared to how high your burden of proof is for actual reality, which is all of us are only saying reality shows us something different. It can't exist the way they're saying. And you have this extremely low pictures from space, and people said so that you can't identify this really amorphous kind of group of people that I still haven't been privy to who they are and what they produce, and how you would assume that they have some kind of knowledge or some kind of that they've actually have a track record at all in what you think they do. And I'll yield the floor. That's a question, though.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, I mean, I have like done my own, I guess, experiments, if you can call it that. I mean, I saw a boat, it went over the horizon, it got obstructed, and that was pretty much good enough for me.
Not an experiment. You're confused. Sure. Hey, Octane, you're not pretty sure of anything. You seem to forget that we were all wrapped up in this mythos that you're still duped by. So this whole idea, well, I'm not here to come and convince you. Well, we know it's bullshit. So why would you even say that?
Well, because it's not an argument really to say, oh, because I changed, that means I'm right.
You're right.
What?
That's not an argument. It's not. It's just important to know
that's
that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying. No, he seems to think like it's his duty to bring us back to some mythos that we've already unraveled. It's the same thing with this thing where he says, well, it's a matter of trust. No, it's not a matter of trust. Once you've found out that someone's already bullshitting, then you know they're liars.
Hey, well, to be fair, like, I'm not trying to bring you guys to anything. I mean, like
You're
I said
not being
earlier,
fair.
I'm not here to convince.
Listen, yeah, I know. So why are you here?
Because I like to hear conversations, and then someone asks me a question, and then
I thought you were here to answer questions. So what? Well, if you're not here to try and to read, if you're not here to reboot everyone, why are you here to answer questions? For what end?
Well, I mean, I guess that's up to you guys. You guys want to keep asking me questions. I'm just responding.
So to make a fool, to continue to make a fool of yourself.
All right. Well, damn. Well, if you're done grilling the guy, I mean, he's been all right. So
yeah, but why?
Nah, this dude. Have you seen? This is the guy who says he can have his cake and eat it too. That's not all right. That's dishonest.
That was so long ago. I'm sorry to remember that. That was like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and you still haven't figured it out. That's weird.
No, it's all right.
Well, I'll say something on the back of what Sonny had to say. Sonny hit on an interesting point about like burden of performance. Well, burden of proof, and I have some thoughts I've been working on about like burden of performance, and it's something a little bit more tailored for the Rumble, but I guess I could throw it out there. But it's like it seems like Globers have a low burden of performance, whereas someone like a Flat Earther has a much higher burden of performance. Now, how can we relate this so people can understand? I heard this on Fresh and Fit, so I've been talking about it a little bit here. Say you're a relatively good-looking girl. Your burden of performance to, say, get a guy if you wanted to for a night or whatever, it wouldn't take a lot. Okay, it wouldn't take a lot. Your performance wouldn't have to necessarily be extravagant to achieve such a thing. Your burden of performance is quite low if you want to achieve that goal. Now, as a guy, you have to have a little bit more going. You got to have some money, maybe a nice status or whatever, good looking, etc. The burden of performance is much higher, and for you to achieve the goal for the night. Now, when it comes to like globe Earth, flat Earth, as a globe Earther, it's almost like, I hate to sound rude, but it's almost like the guy that's in the basement, covered in Cheeto dust, and he's still feeling confident that he's deserving of a bad B for the night. And we all know that you're not deserving. You have to go and get off the couch. You have to wipe off the Cheeto dust and actually go and do something to achieve that goal. And so, like, notice how, what kind of performance have you had to do to achieve this worldview of yours? Well, you didn't really have to leave the basement. You didn't have to leave your computer screen. Somebody over there somewhere, and I'm not really directing this directly at you, Octane. This is just kind of just to people in general. Whoever wants to take away from it, they can. But it's like, as a global worker, the burden of performance is quite low. You don't really feel like you have to go out and do anything if you just trust the experts, if you just trust the scientists, or if you just trust this entity, they will do it for you. And so, as a flat earther, I feel like our burden of performance is much higher. We're having to go out and do things, laser tests, long distance observations, etc. We're not just sitting, in the basement with Cheeto dust all over my chest, like, I deserve the flat Earth. I have actually gone on to do something. So, just it's important to keep that in mind. I just think that's an interesting dynamic when it comes between the two of us. The flat earthers versus the globe earthers. So just an interesting analogy I figured I'd throw out there for you guys. Hope you'd enjoy that one. It's a CB exclusive. So might have to throw that one on TikTok.
Yeah, stay tuned for my new record album called "When the Cheeto Dust Settles."
Oh yeah, go ahead. Old Haas, you wanted to say something?
Or I was just I didn't even know, but I was trying not to say something, Octane.
Well, Octane, did you want to respond to that in some way?
No, not really. I mean, it seemed fine.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling you the basement dweller, Cheeto dust collector.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, I play a lot of games online. I've been called worse, so I'm kind of immune a little bit.
But look at this approach. I'm Glober. I believe in NASA, and I saw the ships going bottom up. What these flat earthers have to say, Octane? What they are saying? Not can I speak only with him? What they are saying?
So what's the question again? Sorry.
I'm Glober. I believe NASA. I know that ships disappearing bottom up, and that's enough for me. What's this flat earther saying? What they are saying?
I think I understand the question. Does anyone else understand the question? Am I?
Yeah, I can help. Sasha, I can help you.
Okay.
So like if you and Sasha are standing shoulder to shoulder at the beach, and
no, CB. No.
Okay.
I am Glober in this moment.
I know. I
believe in us. Okay. I want to know what you CB think, and I want to know if he knows why you think.
Oh, so you want me to make like an argument for the flat Earth, like in good faith? Like you want me to like make your position, but in a good faith manner, right? Is that what you're asking?
No, not what. Just realize what the position is.
Okay, dude.
Yeah. What is CB position about the shape of the Earth?
About the shape or about the ship? That's.
Okay, let me just help out, Sasha. Hold on, dude. Hold on. I'm the flat earther. I'm the flat earther. It's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's fine. I'm the flat earther. Sasha's the globe earther. We're both standing at the beach. You're with us, and you and him see the ship go over the curve. What do I see? What am I observing then? If I'm the flat earther and I see the same thing, what is my?
CB, you're not helping me now.
Okay, well, I'm just confused now. If he's not helping, I thought you got it right.
Then, Sasha, if I don't understand you, then no one's understanding you, bro.
Yeah, no, not a chance. I don't know either.
Okay, hey, Octane, you want me to explain it to you?
I will explain it to you.
I don't know. How is that not the question anyway? I mean,
very simple. Very simple. Octane, you and me, we are Glober. We know now. We need to realize why these people think that Earth is flat. Okay.
Okay.
And do you know that, or should we need to ask them?
What?
Do you know?
To, like, ask the.
Do you know why they are thinking that Earth is flat, or we need to ask them?
We need to ask them. I mean, it's always good to ask for like more information why someone thinks the way they do.
Okay. If I ask them, I know what they will. If I ask them, I know what they will tell me, and they will tell me something about more immediately. They will tell me about radius and drop over distance and where is the curvature, and about rotation, who measured, who did that, and they will speak about gas pressure, and that 3 points they will speak. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it that enough for you? What they are saying? That Earth is flat.
So with their information that they're providing, do I?
Yeah. Is it that enough for you to conclude that Earth is not a globe?
Well, no, because like we disagree on.
Okay, great. Now my question. Great. Now my question is this: wow, why you are here?
Because I like to hear conversations. I like to conversate about things I disagree.
Listen. You are the person who realized something. You realize that what they are saying, it has no logic for you. Now, for me, my advice is better go back to your life, enjoy your life, take your logical life, and leave this person alone. Because man, you're spending your time with people who have no logic, and because your logic
I
is
never
going
said that. I always say you guys have good points, and
No,
I've been proving them
he
wrong.
thinks he has the intellectual high ground. Let me ask him a question real quick. Let me ask you a question, since you're the intellectual. Do you think it was a simple or a complicated process coming to the realization that the Earth is not a globe?
It's probably a little bit of both. Depends on the person. I don't know.
Now, dude, what does that even mean?
Well, I mean,
a little bit of both.
People have. Yeah.
No. The Earth is the same for The Earth is the same for everyone, Octane. Do you think it was a simple or a complicated process to realize that the Earth isn't what they claimed it to be?
I mean, again, I feel like it's a little bit different for every person.
So you don't know the answer, do you? You don't know the answer, do you? It's not an opinion. It's simple. They claim the Earth is a spheroid of a certain size. I mean, how more simple could it be? Octane, are you following?
Yeah, following.
Okay, so I'll ask you again. The process in which we came to realize that the Earth was flat, is it a simple one or a complicated process?
Bruh. I mean, I'm gonna give this.
Say what you said. Say what you said. Say what you said a minute ago. Simple. If I threw you a basketball, how complicated is it? What shape it is?
That's pretty simple.
Okay. Well, they claim we're living on a giant basketball. So what? How would it be simple or complicated to figure out if that's the case? You can say it. Spit it out.
I'm gonna be pretty simple.
It begins with an S, ends with an E. Simple. You're making it complicated because you're wrapped up in a myth.
I don't think I'm trying to. I'm just trying to follow along. Sometimes the question.
I know you're not trying to because you're brainwashed. You're brainwashed. Let me explain something to you. Or let me ask you a question. Do you even think it's a possibility that this globe belief, this globe knowledge that you think you have, do you think it's even a possibility that it's all a myth?
Yeah.
Okay,
like I said, I mean, I trust in the institutions, and I mean, sure, there could be a percentage chance that they're lying, but it's so low to the point where I don't really.
Well, no, they're not. So now you're thinking that everyone in academia has to be lying. They're all as equally as duped as you are.
No, I never said that. I don't think.
Well, what did you say? What did you say? What did you mean then?
I mean, I just said that there's always a percentage chance that you can be wrong, but it's so low.
You said there's a small percentage that they're wrong and that they're lying.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, they wouldn't have to be lying. If they were as duped as you are you lying?
Okay, I guess they're not lying. I guess they could all just be wrong.
They're all confused.
Sure, there's a percentage chance of both. They could all be lying.
So yes. So you're finally realizing or admitting that there's a possibility that this whole heliocentric thing, globe, is a myth. That's all. It's a good step.
Yes.
Once you figure out the cake thing, you'll be on the right path.
All right.
And I can give you an example. For example, I was not religious in the past, but I never went to every Saturday or Sunday or going to church and to speak with people how I don't believe in God.
Right, and I mean, I'm not here, like I said earlier, to convince any of you guys. I don't think I even tried convincing you. I'm just.
No, I'm saying I can understand, but I don't understand you, like you person, because if I'm you, I will say, fuck, these people has no any fucking clue what they are saying. This has no logic for me, but I don't want to even. And you said I don't want to convince them. But you said I don't want to convince you. That means okay, you don't want to convince us because you don't. Bye bye. Fuck, I don't want to speak with these people anymore.
Yeah, because
you don't understand because you're not me. I mean, I like talking to people who disagree with me. That's what I like doing.
Okay, good.
Well, do you like talking with people who know you're wrong?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you like talking to people who know you're wrong?
Yeah, because I know I'm
you
right,
do.
so it's okay.
You just said there's a chance that it's wrong.
Yes, I said there's a percentage
Which one is
chance,
it?
but it's so low that I barely even consider it.
You know it's a globe, but there's a chance it's not.
Yes, of course. Just like for you guys, I would assume yes, it's flat, but there's a percentage chance.
Wow, dude,
you're
no, you're embarrassing yourself.
You guys aren't willing to change your mind
embarrassing
at all,
yourself.
ever.
Yeah, you have no idea.
You highlighted.
Guys, chill.
Hold on.
I don't think 20 cents is that bad.
I know. Wait a minute.
I'll shut up. This guy is just too much, dude.
I don't think he's been that.
Okay, if you guys wanna, you guys want to speak, I'll go on mute. I just wanna listen. So if anyone else wants to take the floor,
you're fine, dude. I don't think what you said was that bad.
No, I don't either. But we can, we'll just talk about you once you leave. I mean, because it's full. Yeah. No, it's okay because you didn't have any proof at all of your spinning globe Earth, and not even an inkling of any evidence to support any of your claims. So they can be thrown out, like I said in the very beginning. So going back a couple hours from the very beginning of this entire discussion, we can throw out everything you said as trash because it has no validity. It has no form. It has no formalization. Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say real quickly, because I actually enjoyed talking with you, but I wanted to say this: that do you actually think that it's possible to convince anybody of anything?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you convince somebody of something?
You generally show them like evidence and stuff.
And then what happens? Before they become convinced, they see evidence, and then what happens?
It's not enough.
They might change their mind. They might do their own research.
And then when they changed, where did that change begin? In them. The answer was in my question.
Oh damn! It's like a fucking puzzle.
No, the answer is actually in my question.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. It's a puzzle. I wasn't following word for word and remembering like every single word possible.
It starts from within the person. It doesn't come from outside. You could sway a person one way or the other, and if they're honest, they could go one way or the other. But you didn't. You might have helped them along that way. But there's people that you could help along the way that go the other way and don't agree with you and go the opposite. So yeah. It's not possible to convince somebody. If you think about it, we're not here to convince anybody of anything. It's not possible. It's a human impossibility to convince anyone of anything at all. It's not. There's no convincing going on. If the person doesn't see it within themselves, and that be the catalyst for the change within them by what they heard from outside, it's still the change started from within them. Them dealing with themselves. That's the only way change occurs. Nobody's convincing anybody of shit. You might have been duped into believing something that you thought was true. Obviously you did. You believe the whole globe thing with zero. I was still talking. So I'll be done soon, don't worry. You were convinced of the globe Earth thing by just pictures from space and an appeal to authority. You have nothing but fluff. It has the validity of what you're saying has no depth or weight in reality or logic at all. No place in it whatsoever. Thanks. I'll yield the floor.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sunny. This was me during the last conversation. Oh, never mind. That didn't work.
And he asked if you can change idea that maybe it's fear. How I can do that? Then I will believe that something happened in 6 years, some kind of phenomena hiding the drop over distance, and now somehow improvement, how to say, it will start to every observation this will show drop over distance. I will be scared because that means in these 6 years we could not observe the drop over distance, but now from somewhere in future it will happen that it will happen that we will see the drop over distance.
Well, like I said, I took a few videos and I saw things drop. So, I mean,
yeah, I know. That means that Santa Barbara. It's what's that? What that my Croatia thinks. What I saw in real life. What the fuck I saw? What is going on? Why I'm seeing the physicality of water? It's physical and where it is, and that's it. That is what it is. Question, Octane. If you go out,
right.
are you rotating? Are you moving?
Yeah, we're rotating right now.
Okay. How will it look like if we are not rotating?
Because it's constant and it's relatively slow too. I mean,
No, I'm asking you how would look like if we are not moving?
Oh wait, how do we feel like we're not moving?
Yeah, how that will look, because if you go out now, you are moving because Earth is moving. But how will it look if you are not moving?
He's saying, what would it look like if we weren't moving? That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd probably honestly look the same.
Oh, and how we make the difference?
How do we do what?
How can you tell the difference between us moving or not moving, since in both scenarios it would appear the same? That is his question.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't want to get into this conversation. But the Foucault pendulum, or we could just send a set off.
I'm asking you this. This is the question. How we can know for something is not moving?
How can we know if something is not moving?
Yeah.
If you can't tell when it is moving, and you can tell when it's not moving.
And well, I mean, in terms of the Earth, like I said, the Foucault pendulum.
No, we're not talking about an apparatus. We're talking about how it would be felt.
Yeah.
Oh, like how you alone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you feel when you're still?
Yeah, you can feel where you're still. You can feel when you're.
And then can you feel? Can you feel every single motion from still to any other angle, even if you're not moving, like you tilt your head? Can you tell that?
Yeah, like you can tell when you move your.
Yeah. In both directions.
Yeah.
Left and right. You can tilt your head. You know what angle your head is tilted at, even at a little increment of a degree, right? Your body tells you that you're balanced. So then, what about back and forth, forward and back? You feel all that. Not even, let's say you just slowly moving your head back just a little bit or forward. You know exactly where balance is, and you know exactly every single motion your body makes because it's tied into your vestibular system that is based on a liquid substance in your inner ear, in the cochlea, and the semicircular canals, along with the endolymph. That is the material. And you have nerves at site-specific areas on a piece of gelatin-like substance where the nerves endings come out at site-specific places. And that liquid moves a tiny little bit. You know exactly from still to change of angle or motion, not either or. So you can't give the argument of acceleration. Your head you know whenever your cranium is balanced, whenever it's out of position or moving in any direction, around 360 around you, in an orb around you, you know every motion in that whole entire 360 degree orb around you. That's how accurate your vestibular system is. So you can't tell me that I fall down and go boom, boom, and hurt my knee, that in some circumstances I could fall and not get hurt, or instead of falling down, I would float up into the sky, and I wouldn't know the difference. Is that what you're trying to say?
The reason why you don't feel that motion is because it's not an acceleration or like a heat.
I just explained to you, it doesn't have to be motion. It doesn't have to be motion. Did you get what I said?
I thought we only.
Listen closely to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Fucking angularity. Changes in angle. Any angle of your head. Move to an increment of a degree in any direction. Your vestibular system knows the difference between still and angular change in your head. Now, motion is a different thing. Do you understand that? So, I hope I cleared that up. That the vestibular system knows from still to changes in angle, period. When you're stuck at that awkward angle off to the side, your vestibular system knows where balance is. You can correct it and straighten your head up directly to vertical. Now, motion's another thing. If I fall down and go boom, boom, like I said, I know every motion in between me and hitting the floor. Don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Every single time I've ever fallen down, I know exactly what motion I'm taking, or hit my head, or whatever it is, or on my bicycle. I know where balance is, where level is, because that's how we operate on this plane. So, the vestibular system denies everything you're saying about a spinning globe, because you would feel everything, and I just cleared it up. Not just motion or acceleration, changes in any angle. A ball has changes in angle in every position, a different angle. Thank you for letting me share.
Once again, another one. Octane, do you know Black Swan?
Yeah, because I live pretty close to it.
Okay. Is it that doesn't change anything? Even with that, Earth is a sphere.
Yeah. I mean,
how would look like observation on Black Swan if Earth is a flat?
Well, if Earth was flat, we should be seeing a lot further, in my eyes. Like, that's what I think. It's like if it was truly flat, I think we should be able to consistently see much further than what we see.
No, bro.
Right
now. No, bro. That's not true. That's from optics that is not true, because if is that true, then you can go to Mount Everest and I don't know, and watch some kind of other country.
How come flat earthers don't think that?
I'm not for sure why.
Well, because flat earthers are talking about the Earth outside, not some made up Earth or how we think it should be. We're talking about the Earth as it is. So the only time you hear people say things like, "Oh, well, if it was flat, it should be like this," it's like, no. If it's flat, it's the way it is currently. It wouldn't change. That's like, if I could wave a magic wand and have me grant 3 wishes, one of them would be to change you guys and have you at least, not just make you a flat earther, but have you at least understand that flat earthers are at least talking about the Earth, not this other idea where you can turn into Superman and start seeing to China. These are crazy ideas you have to strip away from people before you even have a conversation about flat Earth with them.
Oh, because I'm not talking about seeing like that far. But I know you're being like a little hyperbolic. But like I'm not like talking about seeing to China or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's weird how it's so height dependent. Generally, if it's a clear day, it's just weird how it's so height dependent if it's flat.
Yeah, but we have a Guinness record, and they are saying that we cannot see more than 270 miles. If we can, that it will not be Guinness record 270 miles. It will be 1,000 miles. You will have optics, and you will see 1,000 miles.
Well, that picture you're talking about, I mean, they took it on a very specific time. It's not only one picture. Yes, there's multiple pictures. Multiple pictures.
Yeah, that means that there is more. Do you know OctaneWeasel, for example? In my research, I find a photographer who was only checking the zoom of the Nikon, nothing else.
Well, I'm pretty sure on their site they even said that they took the pictures at specific times throughout the day because refraction.
Yeah, so hold on. It's not hyperbolic at all. Listen, you're saying it's so height dependent from a minute or so ago, and that's not the point. So you missed the point entirely about the horizon, what it actually is. And if I can stand in a place where I can see 10 to 15 miles out, and it changes from hour to hour, day to day, every time different, it's not a geometric horizon. Period.
Well, a geometric horizon can be affected by refraction.
No.
Yeah. Okay, definition. What's the definition of refraction? Put it into live stream, please. Right now, definition.
Okay, so
everybody knows where I'm going because we
want to make sure you understand the words you're using.
We're all in line with each other, so we told ourselves in a meeting of the minds, which we always have here, to whenever they say refraction, and I'm putting it all out there, being perfectly transparent right now, like a plate glass window. To ask for the definition whenever any of you say refraction. I want your definition, the one you're using.
Oh, you want my personal? Okay, so you don't.
No, no. It needs to be like a citation. Okay. No, a citation and a source. No, it's citation. I need a citation. So, or a definition. Just put a definition.
Put a definition. Do you want my definition, or do you want the dictionary?
Just put any definition. I don't care. First one you find.
Okay. All right. Refraction.
Yeah.
Excuse me, refraction definition. There we go.
So I'm just showing everybody right now, and keep going, that you didn't know what refraction was. Now you're actually looking it up for the first time.
Wait, no, but you asked.
Okay, second time. Okay, wow. I digress. I retract that. Okay, never mind. I'll retract it. Never mind. Keep going.
Well, what just happened here is...
keep going. Look it up. Don't worry, man. Just paste. Okay. Okay, can you read it, please?
I mean, I'll skip my own. Light bends when it hits a different medium. It bends towards a denser medium. That's what light does.
What are the other definitions in there as well? Any others? Only one?
I mean, only one that matters.
No, I'm saying, are there one? Is it what number? What number in the answers was it? Was it 3? Was it the 4th one or the first one? In definitions, when you read them up, dictionary gives you things.
Yeah.
So you only got one answer? Is there a reference to what they're saying about bending it? No. Okay. So get another one. Get another one. What is refraction?
Read the first one, not the third one.
Wait, but why don't you read it?
I'll mute.
Can you?
But he did. He did read the right one in there because it says from one medium to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's this doing in air to air?
Because it's a different temperature throughout, so that can also change.
It's not a different medium.
And sure, it's not a different medium, but it's different temperature.
But that's not. You just put the definition of refraction in the live stream, and now you're saying that's not the definition.
No question. My question: what the temperature is doing on black swan example with water in black swan example?
Wait, what?
Well, guys, let them answer one question at a time. I mean, you can't ask them 3 questions and then expect one answer. So, why don't you go with Timbo's question and we can move on to Sasha's question?
You just put the definition in the live stream, and it
because
says,
you asked for it.
Yeah, and what does it say?
Probably says light bending.
It says deflection from a straight path undergone by a light ray or energy wave in a passing oblique from one medium, such as air, into another, such as glass. So from one medium to another. So velocity change. Yeah? One medium to another. And now you're saying the definition of refraction that you just posted is not correct? Is that what you're saying?
The amount of refraction depends on the angle and the type of matter. Refraction can occur even when passing through different kinds of air. A mirage,
but that's not what the definition
in a desert
says.
over a patch of asphalt in summer occurs when light passing through warm air meets the very hot air nearest the surface. So literally within the same
turbulence.
Source, you read a little back down.
That's not refraction. That's turbulence.
Says refraction.
That's turbulence.
And what that has to do
right
with
here.
What that has to do with what that has to do with the physicality of the water?
Well, you guys made the claim that it can't happen in air, and within the same source that you're laughing at, saying it doesn't show
it is happening in the air refraction. You know,
where's the demonstration of it though?
I'm
Have you got a
asking you what
demonstration?
the same page.
Have you got a demonstration?
Jesus Christ!
I want to play a clip so bad.
Now you have to see the demonstration.
Air. A demonstration of air being refracted from air to air. Light being refracted from air to air.
That's a mirage. That's
a demonstration of light being refracted from air to air.
That's what a mirage is. It's air.
Mirages
it's
are
air to
upside
air.
down.
It's okay. There's superior mirages, and then there's like inferior mirages, and then there's like a trillion different things on describing what type of mirage.
What's that got to do with? What's that got to do with a clear image getting picked up and put on the other side of a ball?
Because that can change the geometric horizon. It can make it appear further.
So is the density gradient vertical or horizontal? Because if it's vertical, then all of those parts of the oil rigs should refract at different rates, shouldn't they? So then it wouldn't pick up a clear image and put it right in front of you, would it?
Well, it's not really clear because you can tell when you look at the rigs, they're obviously bent. So it's not.
Yeah, really bendy cranes. You know what? You got motors.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
you said it was clear. It's not very clear.
Yeah, well, it is clear. The only thing that's bent. The only thing that's bent is the crane. What runs a crane?
What runs a crane?
Yeah, what runs a crane? Do you have a diesel generator running a crane?
Yeah.
Could that maybe be the fact?
Wait, could that maybe what?
Could that be the fact of why there's turbulence where the crane is? Because there's no turbulence down low where the actual oil rig is. It's up where the crane is. And if you know anything about cranes, they have a massive diesel motor that runs the crane. So that produces heat and turbulence in the air. That would affect the image, wouldn't it?
Sure, but I'm pretty sure like over the ocean is already pretty turbulent as is.
Well, it doesn't show it in the rest of the oil rigs, though, does it? It doesn't show it in the rest of the oil rigs.
It's perfectly clear where the rig enters the water. So the water's not being obstructed by the bendy crane or the exhaust fumes that are being distorting the image of the cranes, no doubt. But fortunately, you can still see the horizon between the legs where they're in the water, all the way to the horizon back behind them, who knows how far.
Yeah, Octane, do you not remember the reason why those rigs are used in that observation?
No. That's the reason.
You don't? Okay, those are distance demarcations. Nothing else.
Okay, so what you guys are just saying is that the horizon's really far and it shouldn't be that far. Basically. And
yeah,
but what I'm saying is
you've gone down this path before, Octane. This is when you declared you could have your cake and eat it too, when you want to act like apparent and geometric horizon both exist.
Well, because what I already said is that the geometric horizon can be affected by refraction. That's why it's further out.
No, you're very confused.
There's nowhere that says that it can't. There's
Octane.
Wait a minute.
Octane. Let me fill you in on something. The geometric horizon from a 1 foot observer's height would be at 1.2. Where is the horizon? It's not the 1.2 demarcation projected out to beyond 10 miles. The oil rigs are there as distance demarcations. This nonsense where you're acting like the geometric horizon is what the horizon is, and it's at 10 miles, when it's at 1.2 miles, it doesn't make any sense.
Because it's being affected by refraction.
No, you're confused. Let me explain something to you again. Okay, if that were the case, then the 1.2 geometric horizon would be the horizon. It is not. If it is what is being projected, it would be the 1.2 mark that's projected out there. It is not.
Heretic has a argument about, you'll hear him say something about like refracted goblins or refracted gremlins. The thing that you're wanting to refract has to exist first. So before we have a refracted geometric horizon, you have to have a geometric horizon to refract. And unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a geometric horizon. There's just reasons why it's not there, which is ironic, because that's what flat earthers have been saying since literally the day I got here to flat Earth, is reasons why there's no geometric horizon. So it's just funny to hear Globers in 2023 telling us those very reasons why there's no geometric horizon. Like, dude, did you guys forget the argument?
So check this out, everybody. So they're saying that the geometric horizon is what proves their globe. They're admitting that you can't see it. And then we see the horizon way up beyond the oil rigs. And they're saying it's the geometric horizon that has never been established, causing the horizon to be 10 times further than it's supposed to be at 1 foot above the sea level. So that sounds very psychotic thought process. It doesn't correlate with each other. There's no correlation at all. Plus, there's the other thing about them not having any actual documentation or proof that anybody says that bullshit nonsense about refraction that they are. I want a citation, please.
I'm pretty sure who else
is
here? Let me find
who else is saying that the geometric horizon is being lifted up to 10 times further out than it's supposed to be, and that it's being lifted up as well? Elevation angles, take your choice, from 67 feet at the Black Swan to Catalina Island. From Huntington Beach, 30.88 miles. I can see the shoreline of the island. It should be I think 1,000 feet below my line of sight. That means half of the island should be gone. I would only see the tops of the 2,000-foot mountains on Catalina. Yet I can see the shoreline. What gives?
Yeah, Octane. Hold on. Octane, the reason why those oil rigs are used so you can't attempt this silly little trick you're trying to pull. Because when you attempt this silly little trick, it falls on its face. Because it doesn't make any sense. Because you're saying the 1.2 horizon is what is projected beyond the oil rigs. You can't have it both ways.
Well, I'm glad Sonny asked for a definition. I've had this clip loaded. I want to play it so bad. It's only like 1 minute long, but it's important for people to understand the claim that they use. You'll hear. I'm just going to play the clip. You'll hear other word, but I want you guys to swap in words like refraction or gravity or some of these words that you'll hear Globers use. And I don't mean just to highlight Octane here, but just in general, you'll hear people throw out words like science and gravity and even refraction. So it's important that like Sonny asked for a definition and stuff like that. So I'm just going to play the clip and we'll comment on it afterwards.
Hold on, what does misogynist mean? What does misogynist mean?
Huh?
What does misogynist mean?
Oh, good job. He's asking her what misogynist means. Good job.
Because you said misogynist.
No, it's all about these.
What is the definition of misogyny?
Wait.
It's all about these ideas of what men can do and what women can't do. Like, I don't know.
But this one
That is not what misogyny means. The ideas of what men can do and what women can do. That's not misogyny, actually. Every time you hear a woman, or especially these type of modern women, talk about, oh, this is misogynistic or that guy's a misogynist, just ask them what does misogyny mean. I guarantee they don't know what it means and they're using it in the wrong context. But anyway.
It's not misogyny.
The definition.
Yeah, you called us a misogynist, so I want to know what it is.
It's just a fucking word that everyone throws around, but what I'm technically saying is...
She said it's just a word that everyone's throwing around. She don't know what it means, but she's saying it. How immature of you to be using a word so confidently, calling people misogynists or calling people's programs or platforms misogynistic, and you don't even know what the word means. That's wild.
I appreciate you guys listening to that, but it's like they will also throw words like refraction around, and it's like, well, do you really know what that means? Or you just you heard other people say it? And I'll leave it with this, and I'm not trying to just grill Octane here. I'm speaking to the greater audience, but it's almost, I'm imagining like the Globers get together in a huddle and they're like, all right, guys, ready? Refraction on 3. 1, 2, 3, refraction. And they just break loose from the huddle and they come here and just say it. They see the black swan and they just, oh, refraction. It's like, but that's not really a rebuttal to the argument.
Yeah, and no actual rebuttal to it at all. Just saying nuh-uh, and never like refusing to ever respond when we point out that they're just going nuh-uh. Instead of like saying, wait a minute, no, I don't want to be accused of talking shit, lying basically on a live stream. I would bring up some actual evidence of something, but like OctaneWeasel's out of it. He can't provide anything for any of his claims. That doesn't matter what it is. I doubt he could even provide a claim for himself sitting at his table or at his desk, or if he's sure he's sitting in his chair, or if the earth outside is actually what it really looks like. Like when he goes out there, it looks like something. I think it'd be hard to convince him that it's really the way he sees it when he goes outside. Lost touch of reality.
Is it horizon the apparent place where the sky meet the water? Is it horizon apparent place where the sky meets the water?
Yes.
Okay. But you are saying this, Octane. That horizon there, it's an apparent place where sky meets apparent water.
Yes.
But that water is real, my God. It's not apparent.
Yeah, I know the water is real, sky is real, but
that
it
means
appears
that
to me
No, it's not appears that water is real. That means that water should to make that curvature, that water itself. And you're saying that water is projecting, but that water is not projecting. That water is real.
You know what's not real is a hill of water.
Yeah, and you see that water with your eyes, and you can say, "Look, I see water. Oil rigs are in water, and behind oil rig it's a water. That means a physical water. What should to make the curvature doesn't make that, and behind its horizon, made by physical water and the sky, not by apparent water. That water, what is making horizon, it's physical.
I mean, how long have you been, Octane? How long have you been telling yourself that everything you see in the distance is an optical illusion?
Well, it's not that it's an. Well, like I said, it's an optical illusion. But that thing is actually there.
Yeah, it is.
Right, but the thing is actually there. So like if you see a ship, when you probably shouldn't be able to see a ship. I mean, the ship is there. It's just being refracted.
So the horizon and the black swan, it's there. Right?
So the geometric horizon is blocked. So I'm sorry. So the geometric horizons are blocking the ship when you can see it from bottom up, right, in the distance.
Yeah.
So would you be able to zoom into the water line of that boat all the way, the whole hull and everything, with a zoom lens, if it was going beyond a geometric curve edge?
So once. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. So you can't zoom in a ship back once it's past the horizon. But I have seen videos. Wait, real quick.
Okay.
But I have seen videos from some of you guys where they claim to zoom the ship back in, but they're able to zoom it in not because it's behind the horizon, but because it's due to perspective. It's too small to see. But there's a difference. We're not talking about perspective because we both acknowledge it's real.
So because perspective takes effect, then these boats can be 20, 30, 40, 100 times further out than their geometric horizon is supposed to be. Is that right?
Well, if it's being refracted, yeah.
Hundreds times? 100 times further out?
I don't know if hundreds times, but
well, listen.
Where it's usually.
Well, I don't know what you're watching there, sir. I have 3 videos on my channel alone that clearly showed the whole thing from start to finish and point out in detail where the mirror edge is of the horizon, all the different parts of the horizon, what happens exactly, how part of it gets folded down, reflects off the water, part of the hull of the boat is upside down. You don't know anything about refraction or what is happening at the boundary of the horizon. That's basically beyond the limits of your vision when you zoom in. So I wanted to just say this, and I'll end with this. You cannot possibly zoom into the other side of a basketball with any kind of zoom lens once your finger on the far side is dropped below your line of sight. Thanks. I'm done.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm done too. In a minute.
Hey, well, it's been a good round today. It's been a good session, so appreciate you stopping by.
Fun.
If you need to head out of here. I know the grills have been on. They've been hot, so you know.
Take on Octane. Enlightenment awaits at the bakery.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say again.
I said, go get a cake. I said, go get a cake. Enlightenment awaits at the bakery.
Nice.
No, it's all right. Yeah, you've been a good.
Thing never gets old.
No, you've been a good. Yeah, you've been a good sport, OctaneWeasel. It's good to have a discussion with you, regardless of our opinion. You know, whatever we might think about our own ideas and things like that. But you have been a good sport because you just got bludgeoned and you just still have a straight face and chin up. I like that. Continue on, man. Yeah, we'll see you again.
That's why I like this. I mean, that's why I like this.
Octane,
I wouldn't be here.
Octane, you even flat smacked yourself a couple times. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do. I don't know everything, so sometimes you guys prove me wrong.
Well, you said a minute ago you did know that the Earth was a globe.
Well,
but there's a chance that it's not.
Yeah, there's a very small percentage.
You can say
yeah, so you don't know.
I'm certain. How about that? Is that a better?
Certain and certainty and knowing are synonymous.
No, Old Hoss, he's pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. How about that? Because I'll use the words that you guys like. I'm pretty sure. How about that?
No, I was just joking around. That was just something I noticed you said a lot.
Maybe positively kind of certain.
There we go. That's what I.
You were. It was during the Moon Rock session. You were like, "Well, I'm pretty sure that."
Oh, that was my favorite part. I love that combo.
Yeah,
great.
Wolfgang liked it too.
But hey,
yeah, have a good one, man. If you gotta go.
Octane.
Wolfgang's there. Old Hoss not gonna let you.
I know you have to go, Octane. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you go without ending how it began. But I'm just trying to explain something to you. You're not doing a favor to anyone out there with a functioning brain who, if you're telling us that you can have your cake and eat it too, and you also know the Earth is a globe. So I don't know what you're trying to do, because if you keep this up, the more and more people that hear you, the consensus will no longer be where you need it to be.
All right.
What? I don't know.
So already, gamers,
You know what I'm saying? He relies on the consensus, and I swear,
he's not going to let you.
Yeah. If you continue with this nonsense, there will not be a person on Earth. There will not be a person on Earth. Yeah, go get a cake. Honestly, I know the cake thing. It doesn't get old to me, but how in the world is he okay with the idea that he thinks he can have his cake and eat it too? I just do not get that. Like he's made peace with it. It's very bizarre. I mean, maybe we can get what's the word? Channel Einstein and ask him that same question. Then maybe he would realize that once the cake is eaten, it's gone. I mean, come on, man.
They pre-ordered 2 cakes, man. So you know how they do. They got that massive budget. So they got multiple cakes. Yeah, one of them might be petrified cake though, so you never know.
Next time I'm going to ask him if something's broke, should it be fixed?
Yeah. Answer is yes. You know, NASA reinvent the wheel.
Or if it's not broken, should it be fixed? It's like I don't. Yeah, these adages that have been stripped from the vernacular, it's adding to their mind virus. I don't know if it was just a cutoff in the schools or if people just stopped saying these things, but my goodness.
Well, that was our Glober session for the day, folks. So hope you enjoyed it. You know, be sure to tell people how it went when they ask. So, man, that was quite a conversation. There was a couple times I was in here like this.
Guys, shut the up so we can get this over with. Thank you. Shut the up.
But overall, it was a good chat, and shout out to Octane for stopping by and giving us some content for the day. So, you know, who's next?
I know, so they can like go out there and show our content to everybody else. And meanwhile, OctaneWeasel was seen having a publicly shown, basically, and heard dunce cap fitting on about 5 different platforms, All over TikTok. It's going to be all over TikTok, Facebook, Rumble, you name it. So thanks. Awesome stuff. Thanks to the crew. And you know who you are. Boy.
NASA. Breaking news. We realized that we are not in space, ISS. It was a mistake. And fixed it.
They fixed it?
It will not happen. It will not happen again. People, sorry, because of these 60, 70 years of. We were really thinking that we are in space, but we now realize we are not. And if you can only, people making mistakes.
In the next decade, we plan on fixing the lies of our past. We plan to tell you that we never went to space. The moon landings were bogus. And we're a bunch of liars. That's going to go over big in my next campaign, right? Are you sure? You sure I can use that?
And after that, they will ask money for researching flat Earth. The same NASA. And
I tried to throw in a JFK there. Did you notice that? We don't do the things because they're easy. We choose not to do the easy things. We choose to do the hard things. Hey, President, what about Maryland?
If you have all these problems, let's say you're working in a supermarket.
Tags! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.